Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Tuesday, November the 13th. Just a three-gamer today, just three games on the main slate. But we'll go through each position and talk about some of my favorite plays I see. Early looks at this slate. We'll go through point guard, shooting guard, all the positions. Talk about my favorite studs, mid-tier plays, and if there is any value at each position that I see, I will be sure to hit on that. But before we do get started, guys, we'd definitely appreciate it if you drop a like on the video. It really means a lot, and if you are new to the channel, then make sure you click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at point guard today. So you have James Harden, 10,500 at the top of this position. I like this price tag for James Harden, but I don't think he's going to be a priority for me today. I just feel like I'd much rather play Kevin Durant. With Steph Curry out, Kevin Durant's just such a strong play, and he's only about $700 more expensive. Don't see myself getting a ton of Harden today. Because it is a three-game slate, I'm going to have at least probably 10% Harden, probably more than that a little bit, or probably a little bit more than that. Much higher on KD if I'm paying up. So point guard for me, I don't really want to pay up. Like Harden 10.5, I'll have a little bit of. Kemba 9,700 is going to be a guy I really just go underweight on today, especially if he's going to be popular. 9,700 is just very expensive for Kemba. I would much rather try and find the salary to get up to James Harden. I think Jokic is a guy that's in the 9K range. I'd probably play Jokic over Kemba today. Don't see myself getting to a ton of Kemba at his price tag. I do like Chris Paul's price tag at 8,300, but it feels like Chris Paul's upside is just a little bit limited when James Harden's on the court with him. I rarely play Paul when Harden's on the court with him. Really, the only time I ever play Paul is when Harden's out. Paul's had some big games this year without Harden. That game against Brooklyn was with Harden off the court. With Harden, though, he did put up 47 against the Pacers. I think earlier this year against the Lakers, Harden played in that game. He put up 55 DraftKings points. But you're probably just going to get about 35, 40 from CP3. You're not going to get massive games. I feel like his ceiling's just a little bit limited with Harden on the court. So I'll probably be avoiding Paul today. Trae Young's probably my favorite guy in the mid-range. He gets a good matchup against the Warriors. Going to be a fast-paced game. All you just got to hope is that the game stays competitive. But if it does stay competitive, you could see a lot of points scored in this Hawks-Warriors game. Two teams that play very fast. So I do like Trae Young here at 7,200. He'll probably be guarded by Quinn Cook, so that's a good matchup for Trae Young. Definitely like him. But I do really like Jordan Clarkson in the mid-range. Jordan Clarkson's just 5,700, and I expect him to see pretty heavy minutes here. We already know that George Hill, Kevin Love, Sam Dekker, and I think there's one more injury for the Cavs, Cedi Osman. All four of those guys are going to be out. Also, J.R. Smith and Kyle Korver both have a chance of missing this game. I think Korver is most likely going to miss. J.R. Smith is questionable with an illness. So that's six guys that could potentially be out today for the Cavaliers. I expect Jordan Clarkson to probably see at least upper 20s, if not 30-plus minutes. And if Jordan Clarkson is going to play 30-plus minutes, I definitely like him at 5,700. I think he has a lot of upside, could potentially start. If J.R. Smith is out, then we could see Jordan Clarkson potentially start for J.R. Smith. Really like him at 5,700. Also, really like Quinn Cook at 5,500. Love this matchup for Quinn Cook against the Hawks. A bad defensive team, a team that plays very fast. Great spot for Quinn Cook. At 5,500, he still feels a tad bit underpriced. Could definitely get 30, 35 DraftKings points. Quinn Cook put up 41 DK points against Brooklyn in 30 minutes. Right now, as I'm recording this video, the Warriors are playing against the Clippers. Not really sure how Quinn Cook's doing, but would not be surprised if he puts up a very nice game again on Monday. On a back-to-back, not really concerned about the minutes for Quinn Cook. He's a young guy, so expect him to play 30-plus minutes again here. At 5,500, have a lot of interest in him with Curry not playing today. So those are probably my favorite plays in the mid-range. If you want to find value, there really isn't a ton I see. Collin Sexton at 5,100, probably a good play. He's just playing a ton of minutes. He's not really a good basketball player. He's not very efficient when it comes to fantasy, but you're getting a guy at 5,100 that's going to play mid-30s, if not close to 40 minutes here, especially if J.R. Smith, we know Hill's going to be out, but if J.R. Smith and Korver miss, Collin Sexton's going to have to be on the floor a ton. So I do like him at 5,100. I think his upside's a little bit limited. I would much rather play Quinn Cook and Clarkson over Collin Sexton, but Collin Sexton is an option just with the minutes. I think that puts him in play. But value's pretty thin. Like Tony Parker, I know he's had some decent games lately. 33 DraftKings points against Detroit. He played 28 minutes, but this is just a play you pray that he gets on the court. You just don't know what you're going to get from Tony Parker. I could see doing it on a 3-game slate, but probably not going to be a guy I go to. Same with Jeremy Lin, kind of a guy you just got to pray he gets on the court. He did play 22 minutes against Detroit, but he's really not going to see more than mid-20s minutes. 3,800, probably going to avoid Jeremy Lin today as well. Don't really like any of the point guard value. Mostly going to stick to those guys in the 5K range. Probably some Trae Young at this position, maybe Jamal Murray as well. But let's move on to shooting guard and talk about this position. So you got like Klay Thompson here, who I haven't mentioned. I like this matchup for Klay Thompson, but at 6,800, probably going to be avoiding him today. I think I'd rather just save $800, even save $200, go down to Jamal Murray, but definitely save the $800 and go down to Gary Harris. I really like Gary Harris at 6K against the Rockets. I think that's a good spot for him. Defense is going to be needed here. He's going to have to guard James Harden. Gary Harris is a good defender, and they're going to need him on the court a ton in this game. He's going to have to play heavy minutes. He already does play pretty heavy minutes in competitive games, but I see a big game coming for Gary Harris at 6K. I think you could definitely get 6X out of him. I like him, prefer him over Klay Thompson. I think Jamal Murray is probably my favorite play, but I like the savings you get if you go down from Murray to Harris. Klay Thompson for me, though, probably going to be a guy I avoid today. Don't see myself getting a ton of Klay Thompson at 6,800. Shooting guards, really not a ton of plays here that I see. We know Smith and Korver both questionable. If they miss, David Nwaba could play some minutes, but probably not going to go there. You just don't really know what the minutes are going to be for David Nwaba. I don't think he's played over 20 minutes all year. Probably going to avoid that situation. Shooting guard, just really like mostly Gary Harris here, Jamal Murray. If you can pay up for Harden, go ahead, but not a priority for me. I guess you could go to Jeremy Lamb against the Cavs at 5K, but that seems pretty thin. You just don't know what you're going to get from Jeremy Lamb. He could have one of those big games where he goes off for 35, 40 DraftKings points. But he's not playing a ton of minutes this year, just mid-20s in minutes. Really hasn't hit 30 minutes all year. So probably going to be avoiding Jeremy Lamb, especially at 5K. Seems a little bit overpriced. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward. This is a position where I love the top, love Kevin Durant. 11-2 against the Hawks. Don't really see how any player from the Hawks is able to slow down Kevin Durant here. With Steph Curry out, Durant just sees massive usage. Going to get a ton of points, we obviously know that. Also will pick up a lot of assists with Curry off the floor, and definitely can get you double-digit rebounds. Could definitely go for a triple-double in this matchup. Love Kevin Durant, love paying up for him on this slate. By far my favorite stud. Only 2 guys over 10K, him and Harden are the only 2 guys over 10K. And like I talked about earlier, much rather play Durant in that situation. So Durant's the play for me at small forward. If you don't want to pay it for him, though, I think Taurean Prince is probably my second favorite option at 6,100. He still feels a little bit too cheap. His minutes have been there last 2 games. His first game back from injury was against the Knicks. He played 31 minutes that game. Then against Detroit, just 22 minutes. But back next game against the Lakers, came back with big minutes, 35 minutes against the Lakers. 37 DraftKings points. I think we see probably upper 30s in minutes, probably about 33, 34 minutes from Taurean Prince today, if the game does stay competitive. So I do like him at 6,100. You can play him in your forward spot. You can play him and Durant together, and I think that does make a ton of sense. But now trying to find value at small forward. I know Juancho Hernan-Gomez started over Torrey Craig the other day. He did play 30 minutes, but only put up 15 DraftKings points. But if Hernan-Gomez does start again, you're probably going to see at least 25 to 30 minutes from him. Don't really know if he's going to get the fantasy points, but the minutes should be there if he starts again. Against Houston, I could see going to Juancho Hernan-Gomez just as a punt play. I'm not sure what his price is on FanDuel, but if he's still really cheap on FanDuel, I could definitely see playing him over there, since if he does really bad, you can just drop his score. Makes a ton of sense to play Hernan-Gomez on FanDuel if he's still cheap. But even on DraftKings, if the minutes are going to be there if he starts again, he does seem like a good value, a good cheap value play. But let's move on to power forward now. So Draymond Green's at the top of this position. He's 8,200 against the Hawks. I like this spot for Draymond Green, but I don't really like the price tag. At 8,200, you probably need him to get 50 DraftKings points to be a good tournament play. He could obviously get that against the Hawks, but I'll probably be avoiding Draymond today. It is a back-to-back. He is coming back from injury. There's a chance he doesn't play today. I feel like he is going to play, but on a back-to-back coming back from injury, they could decide to rest Draymond Green here, especially against a bad Hawks team. I expect he plays. If he does play, don't see myself getting a ton of him. Just the price tag's a little bit too high for me. but I could see him putting up a big game, but probably going to be avoiding Draymond at that price. Power forward for me is all about Larry Nance. Larry Nance is just a clear play here, in my opinion. He's 5,200. He's still underpriced for his role now. With Sam Dekker out, we saw Larry Nance start last game, and he played 31 minutes. He only scored 2 points, but still put up 30 DraftKings points. Larry Nance, a guy that's just going to get you a ton of peripherals. He's going to get you a lot of rebounds, can get some assists. He does have scoring potential as well. I don't want to say Nance can go for a triple-double, but we could definitely see him put up like 12 points, 15 rebounds, and like 6 assists. That's totally a game, or that's totally a line that could happen for Larry Nance. Love him at 5,200. Going to be one of my highest exposed players, no doubt. I don't see how he doesn't get at least 30 DraftKings points if he starts again. The minutes should be there. Just a great play. Very efficient when he's on the court. Very hard to avoid Larry Nance. One of my favorite plays on this slate. Against the Hornets, going to have a ton of exposure to him. Paul Millsap's a little bit more expensive, but I think I'd just rather play Larry Nance. I feel like Larry Nance probably has a little bit of a higher ceiling than Paul Millsap. Millsap might be safer, but Nance, definitely the guy I want there. But that's really it for power forward. There aren't a ton of plays here I love. A lot of guys at this position are injured. Amari Spellman's minutes have been okay lately. Mid-20s in minutes, 28, 27, 28 minutes last 3 games. DraftKings points have been solid, 47, 30, but then just 15 DK points last game against the Lakers. At 4,500, probably going to be avoiding Spellman, especially because Nance is just a little bit more expensive. I'd rather play Nance. You could go to Spellman. I'll probably have a little exposure, not a ton, but definitely not a guy I'm going to be heavily invested in. That's really it for power forward. Like, you got Hernan Gomez you could go to, but I think that's it for this position. Now let's quickly go over some centers today. So you got Jokic, the top of this position. He's 9,400 against the Rockets. I do like Jokic here. Anytime Jokic is under 10K, I think he is playable. In this matchup with the Rockets, I do like this spot for Jokic. It's just going to be hard to pay up for him when I love Kevin Durant. Fitting Durant and Jokic into a lineup might be a little tough today. So I'm probably not going to have a ton of exposure to Jokic. I'll probably be in like the mid-20s in exposure. I expect to have like Kevin Durant in probably like at least half my lineups, at least 50%. So not going to get a ton of Jokic, but still like the matchup and like the spot. At center, though, the guy for me is Clint Capela. Clint Capela, I see myself going pretty heavy on here. Just too cheap, 6,400. This guy's averaging 36 DraftKings points per game this year. Should not be 6,400, especially against Denver. I know Capela's had some massive games against Denver in the past. If this game stays competitive, we're going to get a ton of minutes from Capela, probably mid-30s in minutes. He's going to be needed out there to guard Jokic. Just a really good matchup, really good spot for Capela. I think we see at least 30, 35 DraftKings points from him. And we know he has that 50, 55 point upside. Love Capela, one of my favorite center plays, if not my favorite center play on the slate. Just too cheap for how efficient, how good he is, just how consistent he is when it comes to fantasy. That's really it for center. Like, I'll probably be paying up for Jokic in some lineups, but mostly going to stick to Capela here. Tristan Thompson's up to 5,700 in price. He's been playing well lately, but don't see myself getting a ton of Tristan Thompson, especially when Capela's just a little bit more expensive. Alex Len I want to go to because I feel like his minutes are going to be safe since Dwayne Dedmon's going to be out. But this is a matchup where Alex Len could just get run off the floor. This game could go small, and we could only see Alex Len play like 15 minutes. He did play 27 minutes, though, last game against the Lakers. I believe that's the most minutes he's played all year. He played 28 minutes season opener against Dallas, 27 against Cleveland. But as long as Len stays out of foul trouble, he could get mid-20s in minutes here. I am concerned, like I said, the game goes small, he gets run off the floor, and they just don't need him out there. But if he is out there, he's going to be efficient. Len's a pretty good point-per-minute guy. With Dwayne Dedmon out, I feel like his minutes are a little bit safer. I'm probably going to have a little bit of Len. I'm scared about it, especially if he's going to be popular. I'll definitely be avoiding Alex Len, but if he's going to be low-owned, I'll probably be over the field on him. Just feel like the minutes are going to be there. At least I feel like they're more reliable since Dedmon is out. And he is still very cheap at $4,400. But yeah, that's it for center, guys, and I think that's it for the video. So hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it helped you. If you enjoyed, just make sure you click that like button. Would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GO, or you can comment any questions down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight. Really appreciate you watching the video, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.